Hey guys, Love of the Grain Workshop here. First off, thanks for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Be sure to hit the notification bell. Today we're going to show a video of a trial sample that I'm testing out of cedar Shou Sugi Ban, which is a Japanese technique of torching cedar and sealing it with a epoxy resin rather than an oil-based finish to give it a little bit of an extra uniqueness to it for a project coming up. So we've sanded the cedar here to a 120 grit. Doesn't have to be much more than that, but you can if you want to, but I recommend at least 120. On small projects here, I'm using, you can see, a plumber's torch with the yellow tank of gas, which burns hotter and quicker for small projects like this. And for torching, it's really nice. You can control it real easily. You torch it to get that really beautiful crackle, nice even strokes, overlapping a little bit as you go so you don't miss anything. On large projects, I like to use a weed torch or a garden torch, which is a much larger propane torch that attaches to like a 5-pound propane tank for a grill. That works really well on big projects like barn doors, siding, fences, things like that. So again, torch till you get that nice crackle that you look for, that you want. As you can see here, I like this look, the really heavy crackle. It's really popular. You can also, once you torch it to this, you can use a wire brush and scrape it out, and it gives it this really cool defined three-dimensional look. I have another YouTube video that shows that look that's been really popular as well, but this is the traditional method to this heavy crackle. It actually, for outdoor projects, it actually waterproofs it, protects it from fire, infestation and bugs, things like that. And the traditional technique would be to torch it and then seal it with a linseed oil or a tung oil, natural oils of sorts. So this is the finished product, making sure that we torch all the edges and corners really well. And you want to have a water bottle or a pump sprayer on hand to wet it as you go to make sure that you don't burn too much or that it continues to burn as you use it. So here's the finished product of the torched wood with no sealer on it. As you can see, it's got a beautiful crocodile skin or alligator skin type finish. Any natural cracks in it really get enhanced and they're really beautiful. Be sure to check out the other video where I scrape a piece with a wire brush and then seal it, because that also is another unique texture and finish to it that does not look this burnt, but still has some really cool characteristics to it. So on this project, I'm going to be coating it with an epoxy resin that's tinted using Incredible Solutions tabletop epoxy. It's a really good priced epoxy resin, easy to use. You can get on Amazon. You can find it in my Instagram account, Instagram shop, Love of the Grain Workshop. I'm using black diamond pigments in green apple to give it a really bright contrast to that dark wood. Again, great pigments you can get on Amazon through my Amazon shop. This is a 1-to-1 ratio mixed epoxy resin. So if you use a half a cup of A, you use a half a cup of B. Super simple to mix. And the fun part is adding in the powder pigments, stirring with a stir stick, making sure that you scrape the tops, or the sides and the bottom really well. Stir for at least a few minutes to get a nice even mixture. And you can see it's got a gorgeous color using those pigments by Black Diamond. We use a scrap piece of wood to raise the project off of the surface we're working on, because otherwise it's going to get stuck to the surface. So then we take our epoxy resin. We got a time-lapse video here as we pour it on. You want to make sure your surface is extremely level. That's why I scraped it off there. I had to level it just a little bit. You can see it's still got a little bit, but it was almost perfectly level. So the resin will pour off evenly and not be thinner on one side, thicker on the other side. Then I picked up the piece and I moved it around a little bit to get it to flow evenly and around the edges. I used my stir stick to scrape off some of the stuff that poured off onto the bottom, onto the sides, to try and get the sides. As you can see, there are bubbles forming as it cures. You want to use that torch very lightly and very quickly to run over the surface to blow any bubbles as they come up. So every couple of minutes, come back to the project, use the torch very lightly. You do not want this stuff to overheat. It will start to boil, it'll start to bubble, it'll cure too fast. So very lightly on the torch, very quickly. You can also use a heat gun, which won't heat up quite as hot as the torch if you want to. This is about a 25-30 minutes working time with it. It wasn't fully cured. It'll take a few more minutes to cure. And here's the finished product. I'm really happy with how it looked. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Again, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, to subscribe, hit the notification bell, to comment. I'm also on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, as well as Pinterest and more. So be sure to follow me on all my different social media feeds for upcoming and current projects. And if you need anything done, let me know, reach out. I will ship throughout the US. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.